Hi guys, this is Mrs. Mendy, and I'm going to talk to you today about how you can balance chemical equations. Now remember, chemical equations show what happens in a chemical reaction using chemical formulas. So it tells you what molecules or atoms are combining together in new ways and how many there are of each one. So for example, there's two of these oxygen molecules and there are two of these water molecules, and you know that by these big numbers in front of them. Now, a skeleton equation is a form of a chemical equation where it has the products and reactants, but it isn't balanced. That means that it doesn't tell you the right number of how many of everything that you get. It's as if you were looking at a recipe and it just said, if it were cake, it would be like eggs, flour, sugar, milk, baking powder, and it didn't tell you how much of each kind. And obviously, as in the cake, that would be really important. Okay, so we're going to go through how you're going to balance this. And before you get nervous, um, you know how to do this on a certain level. So already, so balancing chemical equations is like planning a cookout or any other kind of cooking for a lot of people. You know the products and the reactants, so say that you want to have hamburgers, so you need hamburger buns and you need hamburger patties to make hamburgers, but you don't really know how many of each you're going to get. Okay, so thinking about this, how many packages of each of these things do you need? So you've got buns that have 8 buns in a package, and you can buy these patties that have 12 patties in a package, those frozen ones. So how many of each of these things that you buy at the store do you need to make it all come out even so that you only get whole burgers that are edible produced with no leftovers? So like no extra buns and no extra patties with no bun. Okay? How do you think about that? I'm thinking. Okay. So if you think about this, you're going to try and make it come out even, right? So you're going to have, since the 8 buns and the 12 patties, they don't come out even, and you need more buns. So say you bought another package of buns. Okay, that would give you 16 buns, but that's still more than the 12. So then you'd buy two of the packages of the patties. So then you've got two of that. That's going to give you 24 hamburger patties. And if you only have two of these buns, that's 16. But if you put that up to three, then it comes out even. So you've got 24 buns, 24 patties makes 24 hamburgers. It's kind of the same way that you may be used to thinking about like lowest common denominator when you're doing fraction adding or subtracting. It's kind of that same idea. You're getting it so that it comes out even on both sides. So the same number on both sides. Okay. So, and we're going to go over that more. Don't panic yet. Chemical equations are different from math equations. Okay. We call it the same. They have similarities, but they're different. So all math equations are already balanced. You don't have to do this thing where you know something about the quality of the things, like the buns and the hamburgers, but you don't know how many. That doesn't happen in that way in math equations. They're already balanced. Second thing, in a chemical equation, you cannot add just whatever you want to both sides. You can't do that. You can't do that at all. You can do that in math all day long, not in chemistry, because these are actual physical things that happen that you're describing. So you can't mess with that in the same way. You can to balance it. You can only change the coefficients, that big number that goes in front of the chemical formula in the chemical equations. Okay? Coefficients are only whole numbers, so no fractions. You can't have half an atom, so you can't have half of that. So if it turns out that it feels like when you're balancing it, you need a fraction, put the fraction in, like it's usually going to be like 3.5 or 2.5 or something and a half. And then just double everything, like when you see it. When you're done with everything, if you've got half numbers, you can't have that in your final version. Okay, so let's go step by step of how you would balance a chemical equation. In the first assignment that I'm giving you, you're just going to have to tell whether it's balanced, but then later you're going to actually have to change these numbers around. So let's just go through the whole thing right now. Okay, steps for the chemical equation. Number one, count each element on both sides and see how many you've got. Okay, so here we go. Count it up. So you got one zinc on this side, one zinc on that side, one hydrogen on this side, two hydrogens on this side, one chlorine here, two chlorines here. Okay, so that's what's happening. Now, then you'd compare and say, is each element balanced? Are there the same atoms on both sides? Well, you can see that there are not, right? Because there's one hydrogen here and two hydrogens here, two chlorines here, one chlorine here. So that's not right. That's not balanced. You can't have it that way because remember, these are all just the same amount of atoms of each kind recombining over here. So it's got to be the same on each side, or it's not true to what happens in reality. Okay, so these red ones are not balanced. This one is. This one's okay. So then what do? For the ones that are not balanced, change the coefficients for one element so it's balanced. So you can do one at a time. When you get better at this, you can do more than one at a time, but start out with one. Okay, so I'm going to pick one to change. And I'm going to change this one right here. Okay, since I had two hydrogens here, and I can't change that this is a hydrogen molecule. That's just how it is. So I've got to have at least two hydrogens over here. So I changed that to 2. Then that's going to change this number here. But it's also going to change this other number. So you got to recount the other elements to see if your change made a difference. Okay? And it's going to. Okay? Because this one is going to change. So see, but now that's good right here. It's not necessarily bad. So I've got this one balanced, the hydrogens are balanced, and the chlorines are balanced. And the zincs were balanced before, and nothing happened to them. Okay? So you just repeat that until everything is balanced. Okay, this one was an easy one because we only had to make one change right here and then everything came out okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of a harder example too. Okay, here's the harder example, but we're going to go through the same steps. I'm not going to write down the steps because you can go back and look at those. Okay, but here we go. Let's count them up. So first we're going to count up all the atoms of each kind on both sides. Okay, so you may want to do a little table like this on a piece of paper as you're doing this because to me it's a little bit easier. All right, so we'll just count them up. So, and you know from practicing reading these chemical formulas how to do this. Okay, so let's count them up. Here we go. Now we're going to compare and say, well, okay, sodium, that matches up, so this is balanced. Hydrogen, hydrogen's here, there's 2 here, but there's 1 here and 2 here, so it's 1 plus 2 equals 3 on this whole side. Okay, so that is not balanced. The oxygen, that's balanced, but we got to deal with this. Okay, so that's not balanced. So we got to change something. What should we change? Well, let's see. Since I've got 3 of this over here, 3 hydrogens over here, and only 2 over here, well, I'm going to need to change this coefficient right here because I need to get 2 more hydrogens. So this is the only way I'm going to do it. So it was 1, so let me just change it to 2. Okay, but as I change this to 2, it changes my hydrogens. The hydrogens go up to 4 on this side, so it's still not balanced. And now I have messed up the oxygen. That's okay. I had to do it. I had to do it because there was no other way to get more hydrogens. Okay, so now we're going to go on to something else and see like, well, okay, we've got 4 over here, 3 over here, but my 3 is broken up into 1 and 2. So I'm going to put a 2 right here. So now I've got 2 plus 2. So 2 hydrogens here, 2 hydrogens here. So that fixes my hydrogens. And it also fixed my other problem too, because now I've got 2 oxygens over here from my 2 oxygens here that I messed up when I did this. Okay, now I only have one thing, but doing that messed up my sodiums. It's okay, we're just going to fix it. So I've got 2 over here and 1 over here. So I'm going to change this right here. I'm going to change this coefficient right here. And if I just change it to 2, now everybody's good. Everything's balanced. This are the proportions that would how this would actually happen in real life. So there'd be 2 sodiums, 2 water molecules, 2 sodium hydroxides, that's what this name is, and 2 hydrogen molecules. And I'm sorry, not, just 1 hydrogen molecule. And then that would work out. This is actually the real proportions. Okay? That's it for today. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.